So, are you interested in learning about 10 coping skills in less than 5 minutes? Well, then this video is for you. Tune in to learn more. Dr. Martin here, and thank you for joining me for another Martin Minute, where I fit in a wealth of mental health information in 5 minutes or less. Or your meal is free. This is already free though, and I'm not cooking. However, still tune in because it's very helpful information. So today I am talking about coping skills. Coping skills are incredibly important. They help to support you during times between therapy sessions if you ever have a mental health professional, and really contribute to your mental health and well-being overall. Certain things are going to become stressful. They are going to overwhelm you, and coping exercises help you to manage that. The reason why I think it's important to have so many different coping skills is because at one point in time, one coping skill may work, and then certain coping skills may lose their salience given if the stress level increases, if you're going through a different transition, and then some stuff just stops working. You know, as you evolve, things that used to help you may not help you as much anymore. So when I'm dealing with stress, I like to think about modes, and I want you to think about modes. So when you come up and you're in a stressful encounter, I want you to think about, what mode am I in? The M is for mindfulness. Now, mindfulness involves focusing on your thoughts, your feelings, and your bodily sensations without judgment or appraisal overall. This can be a really empowering practice because for many people in their lives, I know for my life, there are so many responsibilities and things are moving so quickly that you really don't have the ability to pause or to fully engage in the moment. You have to react and then complete that task and go to a bunch of different other tasks. Mindfulness is the exact opposite of this. So examples of mindfulness activities can include meditation. It can include yoga. It can include meditating while walking, focusing on your body while you walk, focusing on body scanning and different aspects of your body, and only being present in that. O is opposite action. That means I want you to do the exact opposite of what you feel like doing during times of stress. This is because when you experience overwhelming emotions, they can lead to behaviors that reinforce the feeling that you were trying to decrease in the first place. Like an example, I am sad. And when I'm sad, I isolate. And when I isolate, I have less access to social support or things that I like, which makes me more sad and depressed. And when I'm more sad and depressed, I isolate. And you get the point, right? It's a vicious cycle. Opposite action provides you with an opportunity to disrupt that cycle. So if I'm depressed and I typically crawl into bed, get your behind out that bed. And even if you're sitting on the couch, that can be one step. Even if you decide to stand up, that's another step. You can decide to walk to the door and move around, but cut that cycle off. Okay. D is distractors. It can be really helpful to give your brain a break and provide the opportunity to focus on something else. Some good distractors: coloring Disney princesses, or dirty words like color, going for a walk or a run, listening to some music and just like banging out on that music, even if it's just 3 minutes and 30 seconds of not thinking about the stress. Those are all good ones. E, emotion identification. That is talking about your feelings, where they're stemming from. It can be journaling about your feelings, writing down why you're feeling this way and what contributed to it, if you can verbalize that. And some people don't like journaling. Some people don't like writing stuff down. You can do a voice memo and process that way. Some people don't like freehand journaling and just writing about Dear Diary. You can look up journal prompts. And if you're working with a licensed mental health professional and you have identified goals, which you should, because goals and therapy go hand in hand, you can have them develop prompts for you to work on between therapy sessions. So they're very much geared to what you're trying to process and what you're trying to do when it comes to healing. S is support system. So that can be contacting a friend or a family member or a colleague or anyone who you feel as though can help you and can help you to cope in that time. Please be aware of the different roles that people have in your life when it comes to relationships. Every person is not going to be helpful in every single situation. Some people may contribute to your stress. Be honest with yourself. Do I need to call so-and-so? Because every time I call so-and-so, I end up in the back of a police truck. Do I need to call so-and-so? Because every time I call so-and-so, they make it about them. Or I end up feeling worse about myself because they're just like, well, it could be worse. It could also be better so-and-so. Let's focus on that. So identify different support systems. It's okay to have different levels in friendship. It's actually pretty typical in all relationships. There's levels to everything. Bottom line, it's good to have a lot of exercises in your mental health toolbox because something may not work. And that doesn't mean that you stop. That does not mean that you go back to that negative and biased thinking and those thinking traps. That means you go on to something else and you rotate these skills. You rotate them and try something else. So thank you for tuning into another Martin Minute. I am Dr. Raquel Martin, licensed clinical psychologist. Please subscribe, comment, share this information. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, YouTube, all at Raquel Martin, PhD. I am nothing if not consistent. Please comment below if you learned something helpful or new and share this information. Thank you.